Yo, it's the King. Welcome back to another video. Now, I'm a big fan of superheroes, whether it be in the movies or the various comics I read as a child. I don't know if it's the sci-fi aspect or just my genuine interest in the genre as a whole. Regardless of the reason, I find superheroes oddly entertaining, which brings me to the subject of today's video, Bloodshot. Or better said in layman's terms, Vin Diesel if he had superpowers. In this movie, Diesel plays our badass protagonist Ray Garrison, who is a Marine hell-bent on seeking revenge for his wife's murder, or so we're led to believe, but we'll get into that in just a moment. If any of you are wondering, Bloodshot is based off the Valorant Comics hero of the same name. So what were my first impressions? Cliche, cliche, cliche. This movie is a cliche clusterfuck. No, it's way too early in the video for that kind of negative energy. Let's try that again for my scholars. This movie is an obligatory nightmare that lacks full originality and self-identity. But in all seriousness, this movie should win an award for its level of unoriginality. Tragic hero backstory? Check. Can't have the hero of your movie happy, right? I wonder where I've seen that before. Or what about the evil manipulator leader who controls our hero into doing his bidding? Double check. I'm sure that one has been in like every X-Men movie ever. Hey King, if it's so unoriginal, it must be a bad movie, right? Well, I'm glad you asked that, my trusted subject. Let's talk about it. Alright, so during the movie's opening, Diesel is on what seems to be some sort of military rescue mission. And I say sort of because he's the only one on said mission. Now, there's a reason he's alone, and it'll make sense as we go further along. But I'm constantly analyzing what I'm watching as it's happening on screen, and this entire scene left me scratching my head with confusion. Why is he there? Why is he there alone? Who's the guy he rescued? But like I said, things become more clear in due time, and for organization purposes, we'll get into my problems with this scene later. Okay, moving on. After the nameless hostage is rescued and our hero returns back to base with his team, where were these guys just a moment ago?
That's what we fight for, guys.
This is what y'all fight for? Correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't you the only one on that mission? Whatever, nothing makes sense anyway. After that, Ray and his wife Gina go away on vacation only to have it interrupted by kidnappers, who takes them both to a remote location. Martin Axe, the leader of said group, demands answers from a restrained Ray, threatening to kill his wife if he doesn't tell him what he wants to know. He ends up killing her despite Ray not knowing anything.
No, you're nothing. You don't even exist anymore. I swear I will find you and end you.
I can't with this man. Is he this emotional in real life? Because I'm starting to believe Vin Diesel doesn't even act. I'm convinced he just shows up to the set and plays himself. Okay, I don't want to say Vin Diesel plays the same role in every movie, but he plays the same role in every movie. He's the big tough guy who doesn't take shit from no one, the cliche badass who doesn't listen to orders. You see what I'm getting at? I could literally take the vast majority of scenes from this movie, leave out the context, and you'll believe you're watching one of the dozen Fast and Furious movies. With that being said, I don't have anything against Vin Diesel. I think he's a great actor and deserves any recognition that comes his way. But damn man, pretend like you have feelings, show some emotions for once in one movie, please. Like seriously, your wife was just shot through the head with a bolt gun and at best you gave the camera a worried look and threw a tantrum? Anyways, Axe kills off Ray and he awakes in some sort of facility and is greeted by Dr. Emil Harding and KT. Oh, by the way, it's not Katie, it's KT, like the initials. On my first watch through, I easily predicted that she was our new hero's love interest. It's not like they tried to be subtle about it. Can we just take a second and admire Eza Gonzalez's beauty? I swear Spanish women just do it for me. She was the most appealing thing to watch on screen all movie long. And did they rip off K2's name? Why do I have to be stuck with this robotic idiot? I want an assistant like KT. I can see it now. As he's given a tour of the facility, Dr. Harding explains that he resurrected Ray with the technology he spent his life creating. It basically makes Ray a lab Superman. He's invincible to a certain degree. Harding informs Ray that he's that technology perfected and is the first successful trial. Moving on, we then get introduced to two more characters who were so insignificant I couldn't bother remembering their real names. So for the sake of time and my sanity, I'ma just give them nicknames, Robo Eye and Metal Legs. Not being able to sleep, Ray decides to hit the bag in the middle of the night, or in this case a cement beam. He has a heart-to-heart with KT before remembering the events of his death, then immediately setting out to get revenge on his wife's killer. After about 10 minutes of pointless, hard-to-follow action, he exacts his revenge. Once KT, Robo Eyes, and Metal Legs has Ray delivered back to base, we get this shocking twist. And I use shocking sarcastically. Shockingly bad. It turns out Harding has been sending him out to kill his enemies, and once the job was completed, he would wipe his memory. The way he's been able to do this is by creating false memories in his head about who killed his wife. That would in turn make Ray go out and kill said person. You guys remember that opening scene I talked about earlier in the video? Well, something I didn't expect, which rarely happens, was that the entire sequence was actually a simulation planted in Ray's head. Yep, the entire opening, up until Ray's death, never really happened. We're given this information from Metal Legs for some reason, and I say some reason because it's never explained why Metal Legs has a problem with Ray. Unlike Metal Legs, who's basically in charge of babysitting Ray, we don't get to see the history between the two. We only get to see Ray rebooted one time, as opposed to the dozens of times they've been doing this. I also should mention that this has been happening over a 5-year period, so this hatred Metal Legs has for Ray feels out of place. It feels like he has no motivation for his actions and he's just an asshole by nature. I mean, that's a big possibility based on the subtle hints that they've littered throughout the movie. Yeah, that's perfect. Have him put gum under expensive lab equipment. That way we don't have to have background. We can just say he's an asshole. Anyways, I wanted to talk about that opening scene in more detail now that it's relevant, because it's a mess. The opening sequence along with Ray's kidnapping lasts roughly about 15 minutes. Now, I won't lie, I really didn't expect things to turn out as they did, but I did expect something. Let me explain. Before Van Diesel breaches in and makes light work of about 5 or so terrorists, who have fully automatic weapons by the way, before all of that, we have a lone Ray taking on a rescue mission by what appears to be himself. No backup, not even a K9 unit. The only other people we hear are on his comms, which could be just the home base communicating with him. Point is, he's physically by himself. That was the first red flag. Now remember, this is all a simulation, which means everything was set up by Harding and his men. I can't tell if this was an oversight from the actual direction or Harding's team. Think about it. If this entire simulation was to convince Ray that this was actually his reality, then why on earth would you have him think that he's on a military mission, a rescue no less, by himself? That seems like a quick way to spoil your own plans. And that's the problem with movies that play with reality. It's harder to tell where the mistakes in the direction ends and the ones in the movie begin. My other issue with this scene is that there's absolutely no context. All I know about this location is that it takes place in Kenya. I know literally nothing else. Wanna know who these terrorists are? Nope. Wanna know what they're doing there? Nope. Ooh, what about why did they kidnap him? Nope. So after Metal Legs talks his shit and Harding has Ray's memories wiped, he follows through with the same plan, just with a new face. I probably should mention Harding's motivation, but come on, you should know it by now.
What, nigga?
What the fuck do you want?
I was seeing if you was there.
What? Yes, I'm still using. What?
All you had to say.
What?
Shit.
Excuse the interruption, where were we? Oh yeah, Harding's motivation. I'll give you a hint, it's overused and is motivation for like 99% of villains. Say it with me now, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Money! Of course it's money. It couldn't be literally anything else. He wants to sell a tech he put inside Ray to the highest military faction, domestic or foreign. Either way, it's going to the highest bidder. Once Ray gets sent out and eventually kills whoever this is, he's not important, he then runs into Wiggins, a genius who was held prisoner by the unimportant dude. Wiggins uses an EMP strong enough to shut down all the power in the tri-state area. This also shuts Ray down considering he's all electrical. This effectively severs the connection that Harding and his team had to Ray, which means they can no longer control him. Ray predictably goes to see his wife, well now ex-wife, who actually never really died. They also had a divorce which Ray understandably doesn't remember. She says she hasn't seen or heard from him in 5 years. That's so fucked up, man. Not only did they fill Ray's head with lies and nightmares so he would unknowingly do his bidding, but you also kept him prisoner for 5 years and lied about the circumstances of his marriage. They really didn't pull no punches in making this hero's tragic backstory. Leaving disappointed Robo Eye and Metal Legs. Is it just me or does those sound like really cool legit X-Men names?
I think so, my lord.
Yeah, like imagine him in battle. Hey Metal Legs, I need help over here. Robo Eye, I'm here. I can see him.
Just a thought, my king, but we really should find you some friends.
20 quid, he just said, oh Jesus. 20 quid. I need real friends.
What about him, sir? He's just as lonely as you are.
Get out.
As you wish, my liege.
Asa, please trade spots with K2. I don't want him no more, please. I just know we'll be great together. Our kids will be so beautiful. Well, back to reality. Robo Eye and Metal Legs chase Ray throughout the city, causing thousands of dollars in damage. Together, they take him down while at the same time KT gets on Harding's bad side. Sorry, but I forgot to mention that KT also has an augmentation like Robo Eye and Metal Legs. Hers has something to do with her breathing, but I kinda zoned out when they were explaining it. Problem is, Harding has control of when to shut her respirator on and off and keep her from breathing. Wow, look at this dude. His issues run way deeper than just, oh, I want money. I feel like the screenwriters really missed an opportunity to develop and expand on his character. We don't know anything about him, like why he is the way he is, why he wants what he wants. But it's not just him. What about Bloodshot? All we know about him is that he's an ex-Marine, and he's the main damn character. This is becoming a popular trend in movies, and I gotta be honest, I'm not a fan. I know absolutely nothing about these characters outside of the movie's plot. I shouldn't be left feeling like I don't understand your film's characters. All I kept thinking about throughout the movie is like, why did he do that? Why did she do that? My thoughts on the characters kept changing because I don't know them. I believe movie creators do this so they have more flexibility telling a story. For example, if you make it so that they know nothing about KT or her past, they can easily change her personality at the drop of a dime and use her in different ways as they see fit. That's so lazy. Whatever, man. We've already spent enough time talking about this. Moving on. A reluctant KT kidnaps Wiggins at the request of Harding, and in the next scene, we actually get a little emotion out of Vin Diesel.
You know nothing about men like me. You don't know what I love or why I did what I did. People like you break people like me into pieces. You put us into these little boxes so you can understand us and you can control us. But you can't control us. Your best version of me, not mine! Don't you get it? Life is about not knowing what's coming.
Like, come on, that was great. Round of applause. I'm glad he's trying to broaden his acting a little bit. After that, KT pulls a last-minute expected change of sides. Instead of actually kidnapping Wiggins, she decides to help him hack into Harding's facility. The last 20 minutes or so of this movie kind of left me feeling empty. Ray has one final fight with Robo Eye and Metal Legs, and they left much to be desired. What are these effects? Is this Minecraft? Nah, it ain't that bad, but it's definitely dated. I guess that's to be expected with this film's small budget of $45 million. So, Metal Leg straight up kills Robo Eye, and Ray obviously kills him. Next was Dr. Harding. Ray kills him at the expense of letting himself be destroyed. And that's really the end. We get this short scene of the aftermath where Wiggins has miraculously reconstructed Ray, and of course KT is there. And that's it. They literally ride away in the sunset together. They try to leave the ending open for possible sequels. Movie creators do this so the audience starts wondering and asking questions about the character's future. Like they didn't have Ray and KT kiss so people would be curious about what's going to happen. So anybody who's interested will watch the inevitable sequel when it comes out. Even I was like, damn, are they going to get together? Not even a kiss? I was like, that's it? That's the ending? Wow. By now, you guys should know I'm one to speak my mind, and I honestly expected to walk away from this movie boo. You know, bored, unsatisfied, and underwhelmed. No, it'll catch on. But I was right to a certain degree. Yeah, a lot of things annoy me throughout the film, but I'm just hard to please. But thinking about it now, I didn't hate it. I can't say I sat through the entirety of the film entertained, so I guess I was just ooh. But those are just my thoughts on Bloodshot. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. Let's talk about it. If you have any suggestions for future videos, any at all, please don't hesitate to leave them down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, share it with your friends. It has been your king. Until next time, later.